Welcome everybody to Inside Hollywood on the Hudson. I'm Michelle Servino, your host today, and I have a very special guest for you today. Her name is Virginia Calabrese, and she is definitely Italian and certainly from Jersey City, an owner of a business in Jersey City. She's a mother, newly published author, and a stylist, right?
Yes,
Thank you
am.
so much for
Thank
coming
you,
out,
Michelle.
Virginia.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. So, Virginia, tell me a little bit about the history of your business. I know that you have a very prominent family history in Jersey City, and you have a very beautiful bridal boutique in Jersey City. So,
Well, it started back in the early 1960s when my mother started it. Her name was Amalia. And, you know, back then it wasn't really a woman's, job to open up a business. That was, that was not really a thing to do. But she did it. She did it all. And I'm a true example. She set an example for me how women can do everything, run a household, run a business, be a wife, be a friend. Be basically everything that you want to do, and don't let anything stand in your way. And so she's my idol. She's the one who made me the woman that I am today. And having a business in an area where is not really walk-in traffic, she made the spot. She made the spot, and we were the type of store that is family. She always made people feel like family, made people feel comfortable, welcomed. The clothes are amazing. They were gorgeous. They actually belonged in on Hollywood stages. So we did a lot of theatrical fashion shows to bring in the customer into the store. And that helped because we are a hidden treasure in Jersey City. And that's how it all really began. And I grew up in the business as well as going to school. But, the hands-on training and just coming home from school after my Catholic education and just helping mom in the store was I think a girl's dream, if you like that sort of a thing. And I did. So I pursued it, got married, children, and I can say that I don't regret anything that I've done. Working with family is a little difficult. However, we never ever held our differences against each other. It was always family, family, family first, always. And when she had to do the fashion shows, my sister had a job, I had a job, dinner was always on the table, we brought our schoolwork. It was just something that I don't think it's done basically today, or it can be done. And I feel like the small business people are coming back. I think the big box stores, they're great and everything, but they cannot give you the personalized service that a small businesses can give you. So everything, I thank my parents. They were wonderful parents, and I love being with people. I've done brides and I've dressed people to the nines. It's just an amazing profession. I've met interesting people in my life. I've traveled. And at the same time, we kept our family in perspective, and that's important, family.
So as a small business in Jersey City, your mom began her business at a time when women weren't really starting businesses.
Right.
And she was really your inspiration.
She was.
And what about today? How do you feel that the location where you are today has changed? I mean, Jersey City has been through so many different changes. So how do you see it?
Well, I've seen basically all the changes as I have grown up in the area in Greenville. There are positive changes, but it has taken a long time. Back in the early say 1900s, the 30s, the 40s, it was one of the richest areas in Jersey City where we are. My dad came in from Italy, and he came in, his home was downtown Jersey City. by Holy Rosary Church, and that's where basically a lot of the Italians settled. But then they came up to Greenville. We're more family oriented. Well, I can't say that. It was family oriented there. But it's very challenging.
Section.
It's just a different section. It's just very challenging. Jersey City is a large city, and it brought us many great things. And I find that myself and my children are very well-rounded, being with people, knowing all sorts of people. Yes, it's challenging to have a business anywhere nowadays, let alone where we are in Jersey City. But you know, it's made my life very fascinating, I have to say, very interesting. And I am involved in the community. I want the community to know that, you know, you deserve to have a better environment. You deserve it. You know, there are people that have been there for many, many, many years. I'm more than happy to help with the community and to, you know, do anything that I can. If someone needs something, I try to be there for them. And how it all started is my grandfather started the Danforth Seafood Market, and that's how businesses all started up there. And when people would come in for fresh fish, he would go to the Fulton Fish Market. It's now in the Bronx. And if you didn't have enough money, he would actually give you the fish then and say, don't worry about it, pay me later. Or you came in for a pound of filet. He always threw in an extra 2 or 3 pieces. My family was always giving, and I have to say it's the best thing in the world to be. It makes you feel so good inside. And so now I'm giving to the community because the community has supported me all these years. Jersey City supported us to be there for 52 years.
It is amazing that you have been a business for that long and have been able to survive the ups and downs of what was actually happening in Jersey City, the many different economical struggles that it went through, and the different groups of population that habit Jersey City. So yeah,
it's one of the most diverse cities in the country, and the cultural aspects I just love. And everybody comes in, someone's different, and they always have a story to tell you. And what's nice about it, they'll come in and just talk to you, and I don't expect them to buy anything, but I love to hear their stories. And, you know, wow, you're here, you know, the area looks so pretty that you're here. I said, oh, thank you, you know, and all of this. It's all fun.
Yep.
It's fun, you know, it's all good.
Thank you so much for telling us your story. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a few moments.
Hudson TMA reminds you that a helmet can only protect your head if you wear it. Take a tip from Elizabeth and Xander.
So just think of your helmet as part of your gear. You don't see a soccer player without shin guards.
You don't see a basketball player without shoes.
So don't ride your bike without your helmet. It's part of the gear.
Let's take a look at proper helmet fit. The size of a helmet is very important. It should fit comfortably without rocking from side to side. The helmet should fit level on your head and low on the forehead, no more than 1 or 2 finger widths above the eyebrow. Adjust the lengths of the straps so that the buckle is centered under the chin. Side straps should be adjusted so that they form a V shape under and slightly in front of the ears. Lock the slider if possible. Buckle the chin strap and tighten it until snug. No more than 1 or 2 fingers should fit under the strap. Lastly, make sure the helmet is secure and doesn't rock back and forth. If a big yawn doesn't pull the helmet down on your head, tighten the chin strap.
Voting by mail has never been easier. Just follow these steps to ensure your vote will be counted. Open your envelope. You will find your certificate, return envelope, and official ballot. When casting your ballot, use only a pencil, black, or blue ink, not red. Completely fill in the oval to the right of each selection. When writing in, do not repeat a name printed on the ballot. If torn or damaged, your vote will not be counted. Fold your ballot and place it in the pocket of the certificate before sealing it with the adhesive strip. Do not detach the strip and paper from the certificate. Fill out the required information on the certificate and don't forget to sign. If you are not mailing or delivering your ballot in person, make sure both you and the bearer of the ballot sign your name and address on the certificate and return envelope. After that, just place it in the mailbox and your vote will be counted. For more information, you can visit our website at www.hudsoncountyclerk.org or www.hudsoncountyNJ.
I'm back with Virginia Calabrese. Virginia, tell me a little bit about your mom and how you were just telling me about her history with working at Western Electric.
Yeah, Western Electric was a company where mostly people went after their schooling to work. And she was a secretary, I believe, of 50 bosses. And she really got that company to where it needed to be. But she wanted to do her own thing. That's what she decided, to open up her business. And she was definitely a success from it.
Now, Virginia, you're considered a stylist, right? And I'm sure you've seen fashion go in many different directions with bridal gowns. Tell us a little bit about how you keep up with the styles and how you're bringing the fashion forward stuff right to Jersey City.
Well, you always have to keep abreast to fashion. Fashion continuously changes, so you constantly have to be aware of what's happening in your surroundings. We don't only do bridal, but we do social occasion and so on and so forth. So we travel to Europe to see the most amazing fashion shows. Of course, we have New York right in our backyard, which I'm often over there with the amazing shows with Fashion Week, and I meet so many interesting people. So fashion is something that every day is changing. And I always say, fashion is one thing, but create your own style. I love when people okay, that designer came out with that, but I don't know if I can wear that. Okay, that's fine. No one says they're pushing it on you. So create your own style, create your own look. And that's what we did. We created our look for our boutique, and that's how, people come to us. So we have a certain image.
That's beautiful. Do you have a lot of families that are, reoccurring, maybe people that were, part of your mom's
absolutely
clientele, and now, of course.
Absolutely. Brings tears to my eyes. Every day someone comes in and says, you did my wedding 25 years ago, 30 years ago. I'm saying, oh my Lord, I'm saying I'm getting old. But it's so nice they're bringing their girls in, and it's a wonderful cycle of life. And it is really nice to hear, and they put their posts of their weddings, and the happy ones, of course. We only want the happy ones. And yeah, it is, but the demographics has changed. So I have to say I'm not seeing as many, because a lot of the girls are either they're out in schoolings out of state and they wind up getting married out there, or shopping for their dress out there. So the demographics have changed a lot, but we still have a holding on our clientele.
Awesome. Awesome. And as far as fashion, I know you talked about your inspirations, and so who inspires Virginia Calabrese?
Well, years ago, many years ago, I don't know whether because it was the timing or whatever, I was on my honeymoon, and Oscar de la Renta was going to play tennis, and I was going horseback riding, and it just caught me off guard. I said, Oscar? And he said, yes. And I was like, oh my God. He's like, I just love his clothes. I just love him. He was such a man that was so good to his people. And that what I think makes me appreciate him as well, he always gave back, and his fashions are just gorgeous. So he really inspired me, and I love the classiness, the way he dressed, and the clothes.
Now, where did you run into him?
Oh, at a resort in the Dominican Republic, Casa de Campo. And ran in, I just didn't expect it. I ran into a lot of other people too I didn't expect, but I was so young and naive. It's like, you know, they don't want to be bothered. But he was so nice, you know. He said hi.
Most celebrities
You
are,
know,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So it was fun, but you know, being young, you just get a charge out of things. And,
certainly.
you know.
So fashion forward today, who inspires you?
Well, I still love the fashions that. Oh, there's quite a few. Let's start off with. Well, it's not really fashion today. I love Chanel. I love the classiness of Chanel. And a woman came in our store one day. She was from Paris. She says, "Your store reminds me of the little stores in Paris." And I says, "Oh, thank you so much," because Chanel started out as a milliner, and I also am very creative. I'm a milliner as well, and I design as well, and so forth. And so Chanel is one of my, you know, of course, other designers now have taken over. Unfortunately, the gentleman had just passed away, and I got to see his fortress in Paris at the time. But I love them. There's so many new designers. I love these young people that are designing, and they're so creative and so passionate. So I can't really say, like, I'm kind of still from the old school that I still stay with those name brand designers. Yeah. But the new designers, the young ones that are coming, they're amazing. There's so many of them.
And what do you feel is flying off your shelves today in terms of, you know, bridal gowns? You know, what name brands are?
Well, I'm very big with the designer. It's a fashion group called Prenovias from Barcelona, Spain. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to think of the designer that designs for them. So they have different designers that design under the label. I've been dealing with them in the United States for 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're very popular, very sensibly priced, gorgeous. Like their runway shows are amazing. So they have different price points.
What are the price points?
You can actually get something from $1,000 all the way up to $15,000,
wow.
Which is, you know.
Yeah.
You know, nowadays I don't find girls really spending a lot of money on their dresses for the simple reason it's a different time. They really put it, I have to say, towards the reception. They're paying for their own weddings, but they still will spend a good amount on their dress, $3,000, $4,000 in my store anyway. Years ago, it used to be much different because the parents would be helping them.
Right.
Not nowadays, it's different. $10,000 gown wasn't hard years ago. Now it's a whole different ball game.
Yep.
You know, and everything is different. And I love, you know, you go into Vegas today and you go into Palm Springs tomorrow, you know, for the bachelorette party, and that's where it's all going to.
Destination weddings all the way.
Destination weddings.
Hudson TMA reminds you that a bicycle is considered a vehicle. When you ride a bike, you must obey the rules of the road.
Ride single file in the same direction as traffic. Obey traffic signs and signals. Signal your turns and look behind you before you turn. And always stay alert.
Hudson TMA reminds you that before you ride, you should perform the ABC Quick Check. Here's how to do it.
You don't want your bike to fail you, so get in the habit of doing the ABC Quick Check before you ride. A is for air. Check that your tires are properly inflated. They should be pumped up to the inflation rating printed on the tire. Many bicycle pumps come with a pressure gauge, so you can make sure they're properly inflated. Low pressure tires can easily puncture. B is for brakes. Check that your brakes are working. Your brake lever shouldn't come closer than a thumb's width to the handlebar. Your wheel should spin freely when the brakes are off. C is for the cranks, chain, and cassette. Grab both crank arms like this and wiggle them to make sure they aren't loose. Spin the pedals and make sure the chain runs smoothly through the gears. Quick means making sure your wheels are on tight if you have quick release wheels. The wheels should be snug in the dropouts and the quick release lever fastened tight.
The Jersey City Medical Center. You know it for its award-winning life-saving ambulance service. It's also your health hub. with health and wellness locations staffed with certified professionals all through Hudson County. The Jersey City Medical Center, here to help you with your healthy, here when you need us the most. The Jersey City Medical Center. Visit us on the net to learn more. Jersey City Medical Center, Robert Wood Johnson, Barnabas Health Facility. Let's be healthy together.
So Virginia, thank you so much for being here today. You know, I know that you are really pride yourself on being a working mom. How complicated was that for you?
It was somewhat complicated when you, of course, when you have to get to the child, you have to get your child to school at a certain time, you have to pick them up at a certain time, and being in retail, you know, you can't stop the person coming through the door. So I was very fortunate to have help. My mom helped me a lot. I actually would bring my children to the store with me.
So you were, to say, fashion forward.
I was
actually a working mom, because
yeah.
you know, a lot of moms, you know, were started taking suit to working and, you know, being a working mom kind of thing. So that's really awesome.
Right. It was difficult, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So as far as you becoming a recent author, tell me a little bit about your book, 4 Blocks to Home. Let's hear a little bit about what you were writing about and how you were inspired to write the book.
Well, Roman numeral 4, of course, it's our Italian heritage. It starts out with my great-grandfather during World War I. And the story is carried out through the day. His son growing up in Sorrento and then coming to America and opening his fish market business in Jersey City, and that's the whole book. Myself growing up in the Greenville area, different stories that have been told. So there's fact and fiction. You have to figure it out when you read the book. It's kind of some fun parts in there. And I just had to write it. I just feel like now that, you know, most of my family is now deceased, and I just had to write something that I don't want anybody to forget them. Not only, and they don't. It's funny how people come in and they say, I remember your mom, and you know how wonderful she was towards me and my family, and I just want to keep it going. I think no matter what you are or who you are, you should never be forgotten. You have a purpose, I feel, in life. And you know, working in Greenville, we have a park around the corner from our boutique, and it's a park that has many challenges. So just a few weeks ago for Memorial Day, we did a celebration for our veterans, and the monument that stands there are the Greenville boys who fought in World War I. And it was such a nice dedication. So I just don't want people to forget, like, forget everybody that made this country what it is, and for our freedom, and just like the little businessman across the street, your neighbor, just people. So this book is all about that. It's about family. It's about people in general.
Community,
you don't want to forget
heritage.
Community, heritage, you know, everything that, just because it was taken back in World War I, and it's currently in the book for today, through the years, nothing has changed. It's still the same routine. People want to work, have family, want the best for their family. And so I wrote a book about it. And it's a novella. It's not quite a big novel. It's an easy read. And I do intend to go on with the book. And maybe the next book I'll put the real truth. And that will maybe
The
spin
real
heads.
truth.
The real
Wow.
truth will spin heads a little bit. I didn't want to make anyone feel uncomfortable in the book. You just want to be, you know, a little bit, you know, you just want to watch, you know. I'm not that type of person to put you down or anything like that. And it's too much, it means too much to me and my community that I will never make anyone feel like, I don't want to make anyone feel slighted about anything like that. So that's what inspired me, about remembering remembering your family, even though they're not here with you, how you were inspired, and how the littlest things in life are the things that are important.
How did you come up with 4 Blocks from Home as the title?
Because I didn't live too far from the boutique.
Okay.
I lived in the building of the boutique. I lived up the street from the boutique. I went to school a few blocks from the boutique. So with the Triangle Park, the 4 blocks, that is all in the same vicinity. So that's why I decided to write it about 4 blocks. It's all about that little hidden area. Mm-hmm. And that's where I came up with the title.
Oh, that sounds fabulous.
Yeah.
What a beautiful way to tribute to your family.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
And because you've been in Jersey City for so long, I understand that you were part of the, you were honored as Women in Action for Jersey City. Is that correct?
I try to do little things here and there, and I got a nice award from the mayor, and it was, I was very flattered to get it. So you do get recognized for little things that you do. It was unexpected.
And what was it for?
Well, there were several women honored. It wasn't for anything in particular. It's for a Woman of Action Award, just saying that the type of person that you are, that you get things done. You ask me to do something, I get it done, and if I can help you, I'll help you,
Beautiful. What philanthropic companies are you most proud to be associated with?
I'm sorry.
What philanthropic companies are you most most proud to be a part of?
Oh,
maybe in Jersey City. I'm sure you keep saying that you do so much for the community. I just was curious.
Well, we have a new community center that is around the corner from our store, and it's for the community. The children have a place to go after school if their parents aren't home, and people come and they help them do their studies. And then with the park, we're trying to, the park is our main concern. We want to build a park that the children and the families in the area feel safe and, and could be there in a comfortable way and enjoy the community. So these are different things that I am a part of. To say one particular thing, I'm in a lot of little different things, but the community is very important to me.
Awesome.
And I guess by getting an award like that, I was recognized for having a business such as ours for such a long time, for keeping it going. Because my mom, we were a team. My mom, my sister, and I. Now it's my sister and I running the business. We were a team, and after when she had passed away, I mean, it was a challenge because they thought the store had closed. So we kept it going for another 16, 17 years.
It's a long time to keep something going, so that is fantastic.
So there's many different things that I am
beautiful
part of, and I'm happy to be.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For coming out today.
My pleasure.
And talking about your book and your family and all the beautiful things that you've done for the community. We really appreciate you and everything that you do.
Thank you, and I hope to do more.
I'm sure you will. You're certainly a woman in action. So, Virginia Calabrese, catch her book on Amazon.com, 4 Blocks from Home. That's it for now. Bye-bye.